Oh, hello everyone. It's time for another lesson. We're learning Bob's Burgers, as you probably noticed, yeah? So we've got all the chords laid out in the intro there. Hopefully you saw the chord symbol D, A, F sharp minor, etc. So let's look at those chords individually, yeah? And then we'll talk about the strumming pattern in the next part. But first, the chords. Here we go. In order of appearance, D, our old friend the bar chord. A lot of bar chords in this song, yeah? Our index finger, strong and tough on every string of the second fret, yeah? Yeah, that sounds like the song already, okay? Get my scarf out of the way. And most of the chords in this song are going to have a melodic note that's added into it, yeah? Whoops. Right, you hear that happening in the chord as well, yeah? So, we're not going to worry about the name of all of those melodic notes. I'm just going to term them as extra notes, yeah? So it's going to be a D chord with an extra note, an A chord with an extra note, yeah? And those of you who are more enterprising and are able to play the song, maybe follow up with me about the extra notes, yeah? Or maybe I'll do another video about the extra notes, okay? So, we've got D barred at 2 all the way with an extra note on 5, which I do with my ring finger, but if the pinky's more comfortable, then that's more comfortable, yeah? So, practice being able to go 2, and then with an extra note at 5. Yeah? Next chord, A. Middle finger on 2 of the G, index finger on 1 of the C. The other 2 are open. Our extra note will be the ring finger on the 2nd fret of the A string. Just practice going back and forth, yeah? You'll be ready for the strum in a minute. Alright, 3rd chord. No extra notes, but a hard chord. Doesn't need any extra notes. F sharp minor. You keep your first 2 fingers where they were on the A chord, 2nd fret G, 1st fret C. Add your ring finger on 2nd fret E and stretch the pinky on 4th fret A. A lovely sonority, F sharp minor. And then back to A, and then in A7, you just remove the middle finger and leave the first finger down. Alright, that's the first part. You'll do those chords twice. Part 2, the easiest part of the song. G. Starting with G. Oops, I touched my face. Alright, so G, you've got the G string is open. Index finger on 2nd fret C, ring finger on 3rd fret E, middle finger on 2nd fret A. No extra note. Next chord, G minor. We bar 3, but we're going to leave the top string, the G, open, yeah? Very nice. Okay. So, top string open, then C, E, and A, bar 3. Then you repeat. G again, G minor again. Ooh, I touched my face. Very easily done the second part. Learn the second section first once you add the strumming, if all these chords are a challenge, yeah? Okay? And the final section. The hardest part, a whole lot of chords now, and it won't repeat even 2 times. Alright, we've got E, bar 4, and then an extra note on 7, which is getting kind of small now, higher up the neck. So I'm still using my ring finger. You might be able to, but again, if the pinky's more comfortable, sounds the same. Okay, so this is mimicking. It'll look and feel like what you did with the D chord, but just 2 frets higher. Bar 4, then add a extra note at 7, yeah? Drop it back here. We've got a B7. So we're going to bar 2. Our middle finger on top of the bar will be at the 3rd fret C, and then ring finger, 4th fret A. Then remove the ring finger to get our extra note, yeah? The ring finger is actually our extra note, and removing it makes a complete B7. Very nice. Here's an easy transition. Remove the middle finger to the next chord, which is D. Again, we're back at D, the chord we started with. Oops, I touched my neck. So, our extra note this time is 4. Not as far of a reach as before. With our, definitely the ring finger this time, yeah? And so the 4 is our extra note, which we'll start with. Then remove it to get that D. And then back to A, which we've done, starting with our ring finger down on the extra note, then removing it back to that A chord. Open string, 2 open. Alright, that's the first part of the 3rd section. Then we'll do E again. Bar 4 with the extra note at 7. Here's maybe the hardest part. The chord is right here at bar 4, but you need to slide it. Tricky, 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 tricky. So here's where we're ending up. With bar 4, index finger, ring finger on 6C, middle finger on 5E. But you want to start back a fret and then slide it up. So you're starting at bar 3, ring on 5, middle on 4, then slide it up. Then you add an extra note, the pinky on 7. All 4 fingers on different frets. Yowza. Yeah. Alright, next chord, G. And here's a question I get a lot. Andrew, I thought this was G. It is. So is this. The analogy that I can make in music is if you add milk to cereal, it's still called cereal. You know what I mean? If you add, alright, you got pizza, you got bread, tomato sauce, and cheese. It's pizza. If you add pepperoni, it's still called pizza. You know what I mean? There are other ways to eat pizza. There are other ways to play G. A chord is just a combination of 2 or more notes put together. The order of that combination, the location of that combination, can give you a different sound, a different sonority, but the combination still says G. And here we are, bar 7, you're getting good at the bar now, and leave the ring down on 10 the whole time. Yeah. Back it up. Speaking of different looking chords with the same names, here's a D with an extra note. So we've got ring on 7G, middle on 6C, index on 5E, pinky on 7A. That's our extra note. We're leaving it down the whole time though. And then you end with a nice E strum. 4, 4, 4, 7. Alright, and there you have it. All your chords for Bob's Burgers. Now let's look at the strumming. Alright, here we go. Let's learn the strumming pattern for this song. And first we'll apply it to the second section of the song, which I mentioned earlier is the easiest part, with the G to the G minor, yeah? And no extra notes. You don't have to move any fingers during the chord, yeah? So here's the strum. Okay, you're going to hear wide open sounds and also some muted. Just the sound of my finger raking the strings. How do I do that? I lift up on the strings. Normally I'm pressing down the notes against the wood, but if I lift it up, I get more of a percussive sound, a percussive attack, yeah? And the tricky part of this song will not only be moving a finger a lot during each chord, but lifting all of the fingers to get that percussive sound, yeah? Alright, let's look at this. Down, up, down, up. Down, up, followed by 2 rakes. Down, up. Yeah, do that twice. Down, up, down, up. Down, up, rake. Down, up, down, up. Down, up, rake. And then a down, up, down, up. And then you repeat that. And you can repeat that for every chord in every song, yeah? And you're going to get a nice sound. It's a little tricky. Don't obsess over it. Just do it. Okay? Just do it, and it's going to sound good. Then apply it to the G minor. Down, up, rake. Down, up, rake. Down, up. Okay? So if I do, I'm going to do the whole second section real slow. G to G minor, G to G minor. A total of 2 times, yeah? Real slow, half speed. Alright, not so bad, huh? Okay, here we go. Let's look at the first section now. The second easiest, or the second hardest. There's 3 sections. Yeah? Here there's no raking, but you do, in place of the rake, is where you add the extra note. So in D, we're going 2, 5. You're going to go down, up, add the 5, down, up. Yeah? Down, up, down, up. Then with the A chord, 2, 1, 0, 0. Add the ring finger for our extra note. It's a little different each time. Just kind of feel it out. You know what I mean? F sharp minor, no extra notes. Fun chord. Then A. Lift the middle finger, A7. Again. Then repeat that whole section. D. Extra note on 5. A. Add 2. F sharp minor. A. A7. Alright, and that's the end of our first section. Now let's look at the third section, the hardest section, yeah? And hey, listen, if you find you gotta pause, that's the point of these videos. Learn the first section, then learn the second one. You're not in a race. Oops, I scratched my nose. So alright, here we go, the third section. Fill out that strum pattern. Now we're doing E. Which is bar 4, then we add the extra note on 7. Drop it back to this nice B7. Extra note first, 4. Lift it. Lift it from 4 to 2. Then just remove the middle finger and continue going from 4 to 2 during our D chord. A, extra notes 2, lift it. Back to E, 4 to 7. Here's the hardest part of the song with the slide. Normally we're going down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, right? Just non-stop down, up. You're going to go, for this part, you'll interrupt it for just a moment. Down, slide. The sound of the slide happens during the place where we normally would do the up stroke. So you're just going to go down, slide, no upstroke, and then continue with the down, because that's the next one that would happen. The slide takes the place of the up. Yeah? So it's just down, slide, and then continue down, up. And after you slide, then you're going to add that pinky onto 7. Then move the whole thing up. 7, 7, 7, 10 for G. Yeah. Then our final D, 7, 6, 5, 7, 4 different fingers. Then a E. Yeah? Alright, here's the whole song at half speed. Let's see if I can do it. Crack the knuckles. Repeat. Second section, G. G minor. G. Oops, I scratched my beard. So there you go. There's the song. Tricky, again, like everything. A little patience and a lot of practice, you'll get there. So now I'm going to zap it over to the sheet music, which you will see on the screen with the pristine recording of Bob's Burgers behind it. Yeah. So here you go. Here comes the sheet music. Good job, everybody.